Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to make a Norwegian Christmas special. And I'm not talking about lutefisk. Rømmegrøt is an amazing celebratory porridge from Norway. You don't think of porridge typically as being a cause of celebration, but in this case it is. Normally porridge is of course made with grains and water like coarse flour or oatmeal or things. In this particular case though, we're going to use fine flour and cream, sour cream. So this would be used for originally weddings, Christmas, that sort of thing. It's a very rich, very delicious dish, and I hope you like it. Now, today I'm going to do the ingredients in three sections. The first is going to be the ingredients for the Rømmegrøt itself. The second will be sweet toppings, and the third will be savory toppings. And I'm not going to show all of these ingredients, but I will go ahead and describe them for you now, so that when we actually get in and you see them, you'll understand what I'm putting on them. So, on to the ingredients. I hope you're as excited about this one as I am. For the Rømmegrøt itself, the ingredients are very simple. We have 300 milliliters of a firm sour cream. This one I used a Russian sour cream, but you could use others. And you want to pay attention to the fat content if you can. Usually they will use like 15% fat. This one's 18%. There are different kinds. You use what you like. I'm also going to use 300 milliliters of whole milk. In theory you could use skim milk, but you're already adding all this heavy fat to it and you're going to get a better result with the whole milk. And finally I have 60 grams, that's about half a cup, of flour. So I guess that those are the main ingredients here. For sweet toppings, normally you would do like cinnamon and sugar and like a cloudberry preserve. I don't have any cloudberries, so I'm going to try it with both a raspberry rhubarb jam and a quince jelly. You can get quince jellies in Norway, as you can throughout most of Europe. Other things you might think about might be like dried apples, you know, apple butter, that sort of thing that might be really good on it. And then for savory accompaniments, we're going to do flatbread, ham, and that's basically it. So this actually does not take a large pot. I'm going to take my sour cream, I'm going to pour it in here, and I'm going to heat it up to on maybe a medium high, stirring it until it boils. And while this goes on, I am going to scrape the rest of the sour cream out with a nice flexible rubber spatula, and this will take a little bit of time. Once this is boiling, I'm going to come back and I'm going to stir in the flour. And basically I'm going to stir it in until I get kind of a lumpy mixture, and then I'm going to whisk in the milk until I get a smooth paste. And so after a couple minutes, I have this actually boiling as soon as I stop stirring. That's how we know it's all the way boiling with something that thick. And I'm basically going to stir in all of this flour. And I'm going to get this really, really lumpy mixture here. But because this is so high in fat, gluten's not going to form. Especially the heat also helps denature the proteins quickly. So we're here. Now we're going to start pouring in the milk. You could use a wire whisk, but I'm afraid if I do, I will end up with a lot of stuff stuck in the middle that's not going to come out very well. So I'm just going to pour this in. You can see how the consistency slowly changes. This is starting to look really good. And I might switch to a whisk after I have all of this here. Yeah, I'm going to switch to a whisk now. The one thing to remember about Scandinavia is very dairy-centric in their history and their diet. So this is one manifestation of that. That's looking good. I think we're just about ready to serve. So I'm going to take that off the heat. And here's our Rømmegrøt. So I'm going to serve two very small portions. The reason for these being small is that this is quite rich. So if I serve too much, I might not be able to eat it all. But I love the way that this contrasts with these with these bowls here. Once I get this bowl cleaned up, then I'm going to present. Actually, I'm not even going to bother cleaning it up. If I was more worried about the presentation, I would clean up the bowl. But as it is, I'm going to start this one with the sweet toppings. So sugar on one side, followed by some cinnamon, and then we will do jam on the other side. So for the jams, I'm going to put just a little bit of this on one side, and I will put some of the quince jelly. For those of you who know me, you know I like quince, down on the other side. And from there, we can add a little bit of raisins, just as something to provide a little more flavor on the sweet version. So there we are. Now for the savory version, I'm going to leave it as it is, but I'm going to pair it on a plate with a few things. I have made a few sort of ham roses that I'll just set up, and maybe I'll put maybe 3 of these ham roses on. I'll show you how to make the ham roses in 1 second, and then I will just put it with some I'll put it with some knäckebröd. Be right back. We can talk about how to make the ham roses. To make the ham roses, it's fairly simple. We start off with 1 piece of ham, and we want to peel it off very nicely and cleanly. And we're going to fold it like this, so that the white side is kind of folded underneath. And then we're going to loosely roll this around. And what that fold is going to do is it's going to space out the roll like this. Then we can continue this, if we like, on the second piece. So I will carefully remove one more. And again, fold it in half. Not in half, but maybe a third underneath. And then, and now here we have our ham roast. And I will go ahead and put this on the plate. And so I have 3 of the ham roses. And we'll go ahead and try this for the taste test. And now for the taste test. Now, very oftentimes in Norway, this is served with both sweet and savory accompaniments, and people will eat the sweet accompaniments off the top and then eat it with the savory stuff. So we're going to start with the sweet. So first trying with the cinnamon and sugar and raisins. This is very, very nice. I really like this. It's not quite like anything I've ever tried before. So it's quite delicious. As I say, I like this very much. Next, I'm going to try with the raspberry rhubarb jam. That's a bit too strong for this. But the flavor bounces back very nicely and they complement each other. I could definitely see a straight raspberry jam working. Finally, I'm going to try with my quince jelly. It's interesting because quince has a very penetrating flavor, but it's but in this case it does not overwhelm the flavors of the sour cream. It's actually really, really delicious. The two go very nicely together. Next, we will try with savory. And what I have here, I'm going to break a piece of the crisp bread. Dip it. I'm just going to try it with the crisp bread first. Wow, the salty rosemary crisp bread goes perfectly with this. I can't imagine it getting better. I'm now going to do the same, but I'm going to put a little bit of the ham on it. I have here, one of these air-dried hams. And let's just try it like this. That goes really surprisingly well. I think this is very, very nice. So I'm going to try first with some of this for the savory. I'm going to try with the Swedish knäckebröd, just straight. Well, that's okay. I think the wasa, the rosemary salt wasa was much better. I'm now going to try a little bit with ham on top. That's really good, but it's good in a very different way. I think both crisp breads with the ham and the Rømmegrøt are really good. The wasa goes much better with the Rømmegrøt by itself. But yeah, this is absolutely delicious. Anyway, if you find this sort of content very useful and you'd like to see more of it in your recommendations, you can do that by clicking, commenting, subscribing, and liking both this channel and this video. And you'll see more videos when I do ones that are kind of like this. So, strongly recommend making Rømmegrøt. I guess since I don't know how to say thank you very much in Norwegian, I'll say it in Swedish, tack så mycket. And see you next week. Bon appetit.